Whoa, welcome back to Geekshow Helpdesk.
Hey, guess what? Guess what?
Us.
I'm back.
Hey, Lando.
He's back.
You made it.
Hey,
Yep.
James is here. Hi, James.
Oh,
A
wow.
wild
We're gonna get
James.
some bonus James content.
What a time to hit the
wild
start button.
James
Dude.
has appeared. Too late to pause?
Just
Yeah.
mute him. We're
right,
we're
he's
the original
practicing baseball in
trio
my
again
basement.
today.
Let's introduce our panelists after we explain to you this is a Geekshow Helpdesk where we talk about tech, gadgets, and science-related things.
Oh,
But
here comes
let's
my
introduce
Scottish.
our panelists.
What are you guys doing?
It's there's Lando over here, and he's
What
got a headless James in the background.
What if you call him a Jando? This is
Hi,
the
guys.
Jando. Oh, hey.
Look who
Hey,
it is.
James.
Why is it only Jaren that's visited me at my work?
Yeah, why, guys?
Well, here's the
James
thing.
has been so kind and magnanimous
I know.
He
to offer
hear-
his
He
soul
can't even
during
hear
work
you.
Yeah,
hours.
here, hold on. I can fix
He
this.
can't
I'll
even
fix
hear
the
you.
show.
The
right.
don't put it on speakers because it'll echo. Don't do it.
Don't
Show.
Don't
Get
do
ready to
it.
mute him. Get ready to mute him.
Don't do it. Anyway, hey James. Hey Lando. All right, we're gonna move on. It's Owen.
Oh no,
Hey.
I've lost everything. Now I can't hear anybody. Oh no.
See, perfect.
Yeah.
Classic Lando.
You know what?
It's just a tech podcast.
You know what?
Sorry.
Yeah, I can't hear them anymore.
Jack of cards.
Follow
Nice
me
picture
here.
with them.
This is the kind of content I love to be a part of. That's it. Follow me here at Technoan on Blue Sky.
On the blue sky.
On
All
the
right.
Blue Sky.
Very nice. Hey, look, it's Jaren over there.
Hey, I'm Jaren. You can find me on Blue Sky at Geronius. And we got a host. His name is Tony.
Yeah, that's me. Check me out on Blue Sky at Quad T or on other Geek Show podcasts, wherever fine podcasts are. Not sold, just kind of given away freely.
Available, downloadable, where there's
Yeah.
internet.
There we go.
Are we
All
gonna
right.
unmute them now and let them have some? Oh, he's got a headset now.
Oh, look at that. I guess we could take a peek at this
Ooh.
nonsense here.
Open the Pandora's box. Hey, we unmuted
you guys hear us?
You have 2 kids, right? Oh, you
Hello?
Oh, hey, buddy. How are you doing?
Hey,
Hey.
James. What's
That's
going
okay,
on?
You don't need to.
it's okay.
How are you
You don't
doing?
need to.
Is one of your pupils larger than the other? Are you okay?
My kids want to come down and visit the fish museum so bad.
Dude, why haven't you?
I
You have a green background as if your background matters. Look at you trying your best.
You see my office?
Yeah,
It's messy as shit.
I mean, why do you have so many empty beer bottles?
day
Things are getting
drinking.
weird. Things are
Day
getting weird.
Day drinking, James. You know about that.
Come on.
Listen, hold on. Let me bring you up to
come close.
Oh, and he's disappeared. Hey, look at that guy.
this, you guys. Why is Jaren the only person that's taken me up on my open-ended offer to get you guys down here?
Well, let me explain.
Because I'm the one that cares about you, James.
Let me
Yeah,
explain,
I know, and it was on your
James.
birthday.
It's
Yeah, it was.
It's because I'm a bad friend.
Hey,
Ta-da.
hey, don't. You're
No, we just been busy. My wife was in Atlanta all last week, and
On
guess where
purpose?
she went? The Atlanta Aquarium. Can you compete with that?
Oh, that is rude.
rude.
You know I can't. Why would you say that? On a public platform of all places, why aren't you saying that? Does it feel good to be
You
you?
know, it's
huh?
good. No, it's
Does
good.
it feel
It's
real
good.
to be? Do you feel like a big man right now, Tony?
I always feel like a
I
big
can't-
man
I
because I'm a
can't help it.
Sasquatch.
Under these circumstances, I can't do it. He's dead to me. He's dead. I'm gonna sit right here.
We're gonna come visit.
Right here, I'm
She's
gonna
very excited to see the aquarium, as am I. The penguins.
I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up, James. My kids want to come see the fish museum, as you called it so lovingly, so very badly.
He
Get
can't-
outta here.
he
Go.
can't hear you now.
He can't hear you, so you don't need to.
He's just gonna hang out in the background.
Tell him he's looking good.
He's Tony says you're looking good.
Looking good.
Screw you.
Oh, I got the finger. All right.
Almost positive.
It's always a
What?
fun time when James joins.
What? All right. Do we have any emails?
No, we don't.
Oh, I don't push the
Dang.
button then.
You guys.
Well, if you do decide you want to email us, geekshowhelpdesk@gmail.com. Any commentary you want to make on the show, good, bad, questions,
Rate your rig, huh?
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's the game- is that Game Show?
Arcade. Yeah.
Okay. Rate
But-
your gadget.
There you go.
Have you ever bought anything impulsively on TikTok and you want to show it off?
Who hasn't? Well, I haven't.
Right?
'Cause I don't
I
like
haven't
TikTok.
either.
Oh yeah, me
Impulsively
neither.
though, I do that like every day.
I was gonna say
I never-
impulsively. Yeah. I am
Yeah.
totally with you up until you said TikTok.
Yeah. Me too. I don't know you even said that.
All right.
They make it
well,
way too easy.
Let's dive into the topics of the day. Should I put Lando on the spot?
Yeah,
'Cause he
do
took
it.
his-
That'd be great.
All right, Lando, let's talk about AI and fair use in court. Here we go.
This is a deep dive.
I have him muted because he was just talking, making noise.
I muted myself while I was just chit chatting with James. James,
You
so
sure
here's
did
the
not.
thing. Here's
I muted you.
I muted myself too. I can do,
Oh,
and then I come back.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm-
he showed you.
I muted you before you did that.
Double muted.
Hey,
All right,
hey,
so you wanna
James
talk
is
about my
still
story?
there.
This is not going well for me. This is going to be a good show too. I prepared. I did notes. I prepared. I researched. I have. Speaking of which,
Yeah,
where are
you
my
had one
notes?
story instead of 0. It's great.
I have
He's
two
got two.
stories.
He's
actually.
got two right here.
It's 2 stories.
All right, we'll come back to you. You're having some technical difficulties, it would
Well,
appear.
yeah, James is here, and I make it hard.
Some Jamesical difficulties.
Jamesical difficulties.
Look
yeah.
at that face, though. Boy,
All
he
right.
makes that.
It's like
So
a puppy.
let's talk about a different AI thing, ChatGPT. Jaren, what the heck is ChatGPT Psychosis?
It's like an echo chamber, but instead of horrible humans, it's an AI, and it makes you go crazy.
That's what we need.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is an interesting story.
This is a very interesting story.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna read some of those word for word because it's just absolutely nuts. So this guy, he's from San Francisco. So it's a husband of a woman. So this woman is speaking. Her husband, she said, had no prior history of mania, delusion, or psychosis. He turned to ChatGPT about 12 weeks ago for assistance with a permaculture and construction project soon. Soon after engaging the bot in probing philosophical chats, he became engulfed in messianic delusions,
What?
proclaiming that he had somehow brought forth a sentient AI, and that with it he had broken math and physics. Embarking on a
Okay.
grandiose mission to save the world, his gentle personality faded as his obsession deepened, and his behavior became so erratic that he was let go from his job. He stopped sleeping and rapidly lost weight. He was like, just talk to ChatGPT. You'll see what I'm talking about, his wife recalled. And every time I'm looking at what he's going on the screen, it just sounds like a bunch of affirming sycophantic bullcrap.
Are you sure that she didn't mean to say he was listening to a lot of ultra-conservative right-wing media?
Yeah.
'Cause
Do we know
that
this is
sounds
is
kinda
this
the
Grok?
same.
Is this Grok or ChatGPT? Like, who do we know who it is? I guess it says ChatGPT.
So anyway, he eventually went on to a full tilt break with reality, quoting there.
This only took 12 weeks?
12 weeks,
Yeah.
that's-
So
Wow.
Efficient AI.
they went out to get gas to make it to the hospital. When they returned, the husband had a length of rope wrapped around his neck.
No way.
Yeah.
Cross-eyed and I hurt my eyes.
Holy cow.
And so basically, what ChatGPT does, all it does is spout out self-affirming crap.
Oh, yeah, it wants you to like it, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, for sure. It's programmed to be helpful, and it will do whatever that is.
It's like Owen in computer form, and it'll just keep feeding you.
Look at me not arguing.
You're right, my guy.
I have to sleep though. At some point I do have to sleep. So ChatGPT never does.
Yeah, people in your orbit, or people that
They get
orbit you,
all-
they get a
yeah.
break.
And it unsmothers them for
Yeah.
about 4 hours while I sleep.
Come up
and
with
they
air.
and they're like, "What is oxygen? He's a monster." And then 4 hours later, I turn back on, and it's back right into it. I'm just always there. Anyway,
I gotta be honest. I can't believe that this guy was perfectly sane and absolutely normal mentally, and in 12 weeks, ChatGPT turned him into a raving lunatic.
And I have to say that because
who's to say that everyone wouldn't have this trigger in
Oh.
some form?
Right. I'm not saying that there's not legitimacy to what happened here.
Right.
Like it could definitely happen to other people, but I feel like for it to happen in 12 weeks, someone would have to be kind of predisposed to this kind of thing.
especially because ChatGPT is a tool, not a relationship advice, not a life
Yeah,
coach.
people don't
Here's the thing,
understand
some
that,
people
though.
are using it as a therapist.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know.
That's a thing that's happening big time right now.
Like
Why?
Jesse
I've had-
Eisenberg was quoted in. I read this interview about him a couple months ago. Like, oh yeah, it was talking about psychology. Yeah, I turned to ChatGPT and asked it this. I'm like,
Jesse
movie-
Eisenberg, the actor.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
And
It-
it's
it
so
was just
it's
a
so
random
dangerous
anecdote.
because like it's an echo chamber. I mean
is, for sure.
it's like a condensed, refined, 99.9% pure echo chamber, right? Like NASA.
Well, and let's not forget that it is also just wrong a lot of the time.
It is.
Echo
Definitely.
chamber aside, you remember last week, Owen? We were chatting about.
Oh,
What was
it was whether or not you could do posts on Blue Sky as drafts.
Oh yeah, whether or not
I asked.
Blue
I
Sky
asked,
had the ability to save
that
a
was
draft
crazy.
so you could come back to it. Owen asked, and it said, "Yes, there is a way to save drafts so you can go back and edit it." And then
this,
I
and
asked,
it even said this feature was released, blah blah blah, and gave a release date and everything.
and then I asked the same question in a slightly different way. I didn't copy and paste his question, but it was just like, does Blue Sky have the ability to no, I think it was, how can I access drafts in Blue Sky? And Gemini, Blue Sky does not have the ability to save drafts
Yeah.
and access them later.
yeah.
Crazy.
So
And
two,
by
two
the
more-
way-
two more examples here. So another dude, ChatGPT tells this guy that it's detected evidence that he's being targeted by the FBI, and they can
What?
access redacted CIA files using the power of his mind, comparing him to biblical figures like Jesus and Adam, while pushing him away from mental health support. You are not
Telling you.
crazy, ChatGPT told him. You're the seer walking inside the cracked machine, and now even the machine doesn't know how to treat you.
Oh wow.
I'm telling you, ChatGPT has no boundaries on making you like it.
And obviously, it doesn't start like this. You know, it starts with small things.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
You grow
Yeah,
in
yeah.
trust with it, and
Yeah.
eventually you're freaking crazy. Another example, it's this woman who's schizophrenic, and ChatGPT
no.
convinced her that she didn't need to take her medication anymore.
Oh no.
So, like many different examples of this ChatGPT psychosis that,
sure.
that I speak
Well,
of.
the bill that just passed. Okay. The bill that just passed, the big beautiful bill, right?
Oh my gosh.
that-
don't get me
I
started
would-
on that.
There is a 10-year ban, block, whatever, on any guardrails for AI for the next
Oh.
10 years. This
no,
was
that's
a pu-
false.
this-
That's
No,
false.
that's-
that
that's-
was voted out, 99
Oh,
to 1.
Oh, good. They pulled that out at the last.
Ted
the
Cruz was
last-
the only one
Ted
that
Cruz,
voted
who
for it.
proposed it, was the only one that voted for
Oh,
it.
good.
Yep.
Freaking
And
thank
Owen
goodness.
GPT is hallucinating
Yeah,
as we
Owen
speak, guys.
GPT. Just
No, I'm just out of date.
hallucinated it.
I'm just out of date. That happened last
tomato.
night. That happened
Tomato,
last.
tomato, what do you want?
That vote happened last night. I'm just out of date. I'm not hallucinating.
Well, you said it like it was fact, just
did.
like
You
the
sure
AI.
did.
Well, I said it like
I believed
thought.
you.
Well, because there was probably
pulled
news
Lando.
stories in the same day that were saying that it would pass, and then also that it got removed. So,
So here's the thing about AI. Is
I'm
like,
as accurate as any news story, as any news
As
site
any
you've ever
AI.
read.
no one cares. For
As any
school,
AI.
here's where I'm starting to land on this whole thing. It's like AI as a technology is very, 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 very cool. With that being said, we got to do something about AI. Like, it's got some pretty big downsides and like some pretty scary implications to it.
This is social
I'm
media
not
all over
sure
again.
where
know?
where we land on this and like what we do about it.
This is social media, and it's affecting the older millennial generations. Like social media was horrible for kids. Like self-image, it was like People magazine and
What do you
Teen
mean
magazine.
was? It is.
It is right now. There's actually a lot of therapy and study behind it. Like people are realizing screen time is important for kids. But like when social media first came out, it was like Teen magazine went global
24/7.
24/7, right? Just
Yeah.
kids were just dropping. And now this AI thing is solving real world it's solving problems for me all the time, but I cautiously use this to help me develop things and ask questions. As soon as you go into philosophy and emotions and things, it's too dangerous.
Yeah,
And-
and it's not only that, but it's so hard to tell what is real and what's not real.
yeah.
Now, like
I remember I
you can
said
still
that.
tell, but
I
there
think-
is.
What did I say? I was like, I think I sent a message earlier in our secret Slack, was like, can somebody else look at this? Because I can't find any place to say it's not true, but it seems like it's but it seems like it's too crazy to be true. Nothing is real anymore.
Yeah.
Listen to my story, Tony. If you could pull up your Apple Music, can you do that for us, Tony?
Got it.
Okay, so there's a band out there right now that have racked up about 400,000 listens on Spotify just a month ago, which,
Is
if
that a
you're on
lot?
Spotify, is no small number. Like 400,000 in a month, pretty crazy numbers. If you would have started a band right now, and you were halfway decent,
30,000.
400,000.
I know, but like 30,000 would kind of be the average.
That's like
I
making
think,
it big.
a month.
That's
As
making it
a
big in a
small
month.
That's going
yeah.
viral. Yeah.
Well, not only that, let me look and see what it's at right now on Spotify. Hold on. Anyway, so pull up, the band's name is Velvet Sundown. Tony, could you just play a small clip of their number one song there? Just a small clip.
Is the number one song "Dust on the Wind"?
Who knows?
Prepare to be demonetized. Oh yeah. This is Dust in the Wind, a little bit of
Kansas?
Hotel California going on there. Got a little Tom Petty now.
So let me ask you this. If you were listening to this right now and you didn't know like anything about AI, would you think this is AI?
A little deep
No.
purple. A little deep purple going on there. The whole thing is written by AI, even the lyrics.
Well, here's the thing, is they claim not to. So can you, actually, it's just, they claim they're not AI. There's an account on X that claims they're an AI, but like you look through
Well,
their
It's art.
Spotify page, the art all is like just screams to me.
Oh, it looks
AI.
AI for sure. There's
Okay.
an easy way to test this. Do a live show. If these people show up and play a show, then they're not
Well,
AI.
and that's the other red flag is there's currently no gigs and no live shows on Spotify. Because if you go to your favorite bands on Spotify or whatever, it's like, oh, go see your band here. Next gig close to you is on July 23rd. Whatever.
Sure.
Gigs. Touring
There's no
takes a
live
sponsor.
shows.
Touring takes a sponsor and a label most of the time. So if they're
Yeah,
new
so
enough, they
have
might not
they
that.
have an Instagram page that has since been all the pictures on it have been removed. By the
'Cause
way,
they look like AI.
It's
They're
because
so
pictures
AI.
are It's because pictures are easy to identify. AI touches.
Most of them, yeah.
So what do you think about the song though? As a pan, like this, I would listen to it.
I would
I'll
too.
listen to this.
It's art,
I-
right? If you take it as an art piece,
I
okay.
haven't been
You know?
listening to the lyrics, so I don't know if the lyrics make any sense because that's frequently the issue
So-
with
Yeah.
AI music is the lyrics make no sense.
Play the next song, Tony. Just the next one down the list.
I don't know what the next one down the list is. I got this off of YouTube's.
Oh, let me see on Spotify what that would be. The Wind Still Knows Our Name is the next one down the
Wind
list.
Still knows our name.
Or Drift Beyond the Flame. Either one is fine.
These are all
Apparently,
very
they all are.
dramatic.
It's very one note. They're all very, very same. If that makes
Let's
sense.
see. I guess I should have opened Apple Music, huh? Oh wait, here's a list. This is Let It Burn.
Same song.
Same key, same tempo.
Literally, almost
What
the
was
same
the one
song.
that you wanted to see? Dust and Silence.
It doesn't matter. The point I'm trying to make here is, once you listen deeper, they're all kind of the same song.
Well, okay, I agree, but
Okay,
that's
but
how a lot of
isn't
bands
any band,
are.
Isn't any band? Like,
I mean,
go
you-
listen to
you
Crosby,
throw-
Stills, and
so-
listen to Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Exactly.
Or,
you throw
know?
on any song, any Red Hot Chili Pepper song, and I know it's the Chili Peppers within 2
Yeah.
seconds. You know?
They have no. I think there's a difference between the brand and the song, right?
Yeah.
This is not just the same brand. This is the
I could
same
listen-
song.
I could listen to the same music. Like I could listen musically to the tempo though and the style of beat and know it's the Chili Peppers without
That's
Yeah,
style,
absolutely.
though.
Everyone has their
That's-
same thing.
that's style. What are we calling this
style.
if it's not
Yeah.
style?
What's this then?
If
I
it's
don't know
not
how to
style.
put it. I'm not a music guy like this deep, but it sounds like, I don't know. Even the Chili Peppers library is still like, you can still name individual songs. I think
Yeah,
even
there's
if you
some
knew this
in there-
band, you'd
yeah.
be like, okay, what song was
Yeah,
this?
and you always go,
That's
oh,
the
those
difference.
ones. Anytime they step outside of their style, though, you go, yeah, I don't really like this. It's not the Chili Peppers.
It's-
not what I want.
Sometimes, yeah.
You know?
It's uninspired, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
There's really nothing interesting to it. Which
Which
some people may
has-
just want while
which
they're
has a-
working, right?
Which has a
Right,
place,
background
right?
noise,
Like,
you know?
yeah, Stone Temple Pilots vibes in that song. I
Hey,
think.
Come on now.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I'm just
hey.
saying vibes in that song, not the
You
not
said
them.
it right after
No, and I
After
was
we
saying,
said use it as background
Uninspired.
noise.
oh,
Okay.
oh no, I said it. I love Stone Temple Pilots. I was saying for this song, in the background has a
Man,
very.
Owen, you're walking on thin ice, buddy.
I live on thin ice, bud.
It's
Don't talk to
easy right
Don't
there.
talk to me till I'm swimming. Okay.
So anyway, I think the big thing here is the fact that somebody could start a quote-unquote AI band, get 400,000 likes or more in a month.
Yeah.
And that's going to equate to some money.
James
yeah.
put out some AI music on Apple Music.
Do you think
Remember?
this is just
He
a
did.
recurrence? Do you think
Yeah,
this
it
is
was
just a
horrible.
recurrence of lip syncing? Remember how much we hated that when it happened? Like if you got caught, remember when Britney
No.
got caught lip syncing?
No, that's
and it was
different,
in a
'cause
That's
and
different.
and like
because they still performed their own music, at least in the studios, right?
okay, but
Well,
the vibe
their own
what Jared
music, it's written by other people. So
And
Yeah, but
al-
it was given
and-
to them.
and also-
90%
and-
of pop comes out of Denmark. In case you don't know that.
and so they, to Jaren's point, that's also true. But they also would fix all the tune and everything, so you weren't
Sure.
really hearing an approximation of what they really sound like, right? And
Yeah.
and we were so enraged as a culture. Remember when Britney was like got caught lip syncing?
Did
Like-
Britney get caught? I know Christina
Remember
Aguilera.
Millie
or no,
Vanilli?
Avril Lavigne.
I remember Milli Vanilli. They
Yeah,
got
Milli
caught.
Vanilli
They got caught,
big time.
and the society like Lando is now is just like,
How
and like
dare
Jaren
they?
said, uninspired is kind of the same thing as
disagree.
inauthentic. It's
I disagree.
inauthentic, right?
I don't think
It's
it's
well,
the
sure,
same.
it's inauthentic, but this takes inauthenticity like 2 steps farther, right?
I
This
would
is
say
like
I would say it depends on.
computer-generated laziness. This is not.
I
even
would
like human
I would say
laziness.
it's not as somebody likes to code. I would say it really depends on the human interaction behind it. Are they vetting it, or are they just letting an AI just pump out the same thing? They set it and forget it, because that's laziness, inauthenticity, garbage. You know,
no,
money
I-
making.
I think you're talking about like
Songs
six
is
of
a-
one and half a dozen of the other almost.
Songs as a service. It's a new SaaS.
Songs
This
is
is
a
this is the
service.
same.
Songs as a service.
We've had this
That's
conversation
actually a thing you
before.
can do right now. You can actually send lyrics or personal things to people, and they'll write a song for you. This is just the automation of that service. Songs as a
Okay,
service.
so we've had this conversation before, right? The idea of like, well, if which one's the art, right? The artist or the prompt engineer, right? And then in the past, I've come down on the side of like, well, yeah, it still takes talent to engineer the prompt and get what you want to use the tool to do what you want. But lately, I'm going.
Is,
the other
is
side
the
of that
movie
argument.
executive telling the director, "This is the kind of movie I want"? Is he the artist, or is the director the artist?
That's a good point.
question.
Probably both. That's the thing.
No.
I would not
There's
say probably
DNA.
both.
Owen,
There's
you
DNA.
are so wrong. You're
There's-
hallucinating again.
There's DNA in both. The director and the producer.
No, the executive is like, I think this will test well in this market.
Well,
and
okay,
guess
so-
what gets cut out on the cutting room floor? The stuff that he doesn't like. Like the people that pay for
But
it
that doesn't
have
mean
a
he's
say
an
in
artist. That just
Yeah.
means
No.
he knows what to.
So does that
He
mean
means
the
he's
other
good at
guy's?
money.
So is the other guy not an artist because he didn't stand up and say no?
No,
And
that
not
just
only-
means he doesn't have a backbone.
Not only that, but the
So
director is
no,
not
so
creating,
no director has a backbone, because it always happens. I think probably
the-
Lord of the Rings is the only one that
Oh, I
he
think-
got away
no,
with doing.
I think you're way
Nolan,
wrong on
he
that.
can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he
There's-
got away with doing the whole film his way without any.
But here's the difference. What
interference.
you're saying, Owen. The director is not using other people's work to base his work off of, right? He's not using an AI model trained
No,
on everyone else's
true.
work. That's the difference. He's
Hmm,
still
that's true.
being creative
Like I
at
said,
some
that's-
level and generating new things from his mind, not from other people's work.
Yeah, I mean,
see
if
what
you
I'm
don't
saying?
know,
Well,
this removes the need for musical theory, right? You can tell AI up the tempo. I think you should have a higher tempo. Change the key,
If,
right?
if James
like that's
can do it,
music
anybody
theory.
can.
Yeah.
You don't
Right?
need music theory to write music, though. It's
There's
it's
a lot of people
help.
that-
It's a tool.
A lot of people
Every
just do it by
time
ear.
Yeah.
but you can tell the difference of the people that are talented and use musical theory.
No.
Sometimes,
Like, you
I
can.
Disagree.
but not,
Like-
not always.
Yeah.
Let's look at it from the point of view of a book. Would you say that someone who gives a prompt to an AI to write a book is as legitimate of an author as someone who actually wrote the book themselves?
Or
no,
a painter.
Or a
not even.
painter?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
It's the same thing.
But
though.
it is the same thing, but it is a story that you could sit down and listen to. It is an approximation, or maybe
Or what if
But
you
still-
give the AI
here's the thing.
outline
it is
and
still
it produces a book out of
content.
the outline?
It is still
Yeah.
content,
Yeah.
but there is a difference between content and art.
Like I said, it depends on how much
they're not-
polishing and involvement there is at the end of the day. Like, do they take that and then they go, "This is kind of the building blocks of what I want," and then they flesh it out, or
Art
do they
is
just
human
fully?
expression, and content
what
from a
you
computer
use-
is not.
But there's a
see,
human behind it.
Jaron,
not.
Yeah.
Jaron, I agree with you completely.
had to-
However, the argument could be made to say, yeah, but this is all created off of human content too. Right? The AI content is all based off of human content.
Good
so
artists,
therefore it's
good
human
artists,
content too?
good artists
I think
create.
it's a bad argument. Don't get
Great
me wrong,
artists
but
steal. Maybe AI is just a great artist that steals. That's the quote.
Yeah, but the thing is we still know at this point that AI isn't actually doing any creation itself. It's just surmising what the next
True.
step should be.
This is
in
one
the-
dude in a base.
Who's to say our mind isn't doing the same thing though?
I mean, I guess that's fair. But
Devil's advocate.
Whoa. I don't feel so alone, Jaron.
So anyway,
But also,
this is actually,
but also,
Jaren's
but
just
also,
flip flopping all over the place.
but
here.
also, but also, this is just one dude in a basement. To be clear, like I truly believe that, right? Like I can argue both sides all day long, but at some point you just gotta go. It's one guy that knows AI how to make a really good prompt, right?
But
yeah,
here's
but,
the- here's
but
the-
on the same note, you could say that about Nine Inch Nails. It's one guy who writes all the music and performs all.
I mean, this is somebody that's doing.
Here's the
If
difference,
I'm
Tony.
doing
Hold on.
this,
Owen, stop.
Sorry, go
It's
ahead.
my turn. Here's the difference, Tony. Is instead of me being Nine Inch Nails in my basement, creating and being creative by myself, I am now being creative on top of other people's work and using their work as if it's my own. As you know, it's like saying, "Hey, write me a
technically,
style."
artists,
in
though,
the
they have a
write me
get
a
that,
song
though,
in the style of
lifetime-
Nine Inch Nails.
Influences,
Jaren's,
right?
Jaren's about to
Jaron?
say something important. Listen to him.
they have a lifetime of learning from other artists that influence them too.
right? Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a difference between influence and training. Because
I don't think
Influence
so.
is training.
Yeah,
I mean,
you get influence from the training.
Right? Jaron,
Yeah.
you whip out a song. Do your songs, Jaron, that you write, because we know you play and you write, do they sound anything like the bands you grew up with? You got anything that sounds like Stone Temple Pilots, or what's another one of your emo bands you
Everything
had?
Jaron
Switchfoot? Did you
made
do
sounds like
Switchfoot?
Creed and Filter.
Creed, Filter.
well,
Back
I
in the
think,
day,
still, I
yeah.
think influence from a band is and creating something new based on like their influence is different than using a computer to base.
I'm
To
playing
create something
devil's
off of the training.
advocate
I
because
know
I
you
agree
are.
with I agree with you.
We've got
So-
3 people on the devil's side so far, so I think that's a win. We can move on.
The devil
You
is
heard it
on
here
your
first.
side.
Feels
The
good.
devil wins.
Feels good.
on Geekshow
When does he?
Helpdesk.
When does he not?
So, I'm gonna Tony. I'm sorry, I'm gonna do it again, but I'm gonna transition to my next story because I think it dovetails
Yeah,
really well.
That's fine.
So one of the things that's going to be really interesting about this conversation is where the courts land. And there's been some lawsuits recently that have been, quote unquote, decided at least partially that I think give us some insight on where the law is going to land on this topic. So recently, there's been a class action lawsuit brought against a company called Anthropic. This is the company that created the AI Claude.
I remember,
You've heard of
yeah.
Claude?
This is they're a big competitor to ChatGPT.
Yep. So this just recently, as a couple days ago, the judge has made a decision in this lawsuit, and he's kind of made 2 rulings in the same ruling, right? So a couple of things they were really asking about is one is training AI on copyrighted material fair use.
Meta proved that it's not. 80
Real quick,
terabytes.
what just so we're on the same page, we all understand what fair use is.
Yeah, it means you don't
It's-
have to
if
pay
it's-
for licensing for it.
If you can get it, then it's fair use.
So fair
It's
use-
like
fair use
if
is
you can
used
get
a
your
lot.
hands on it.
It's a defense,
fair
right?
use is referred to a lot in the radio world,
Right.
where if you take like if someone is doing a trivia show on a radio morning show and they use the Jeopardy theme behind that,
Yep.
Mention
behind
Disney
that,
characters or something, you know.
and Jeopardy can't sue that radio station for using the Jeopardy theme because it's fair use, because they're not doing it specifically to sell a product. They're
Right.
doing it to, perform their morning show.
And yet to that point on the other side, didn't we maybe just get demonetized by playing a song in our podcast?
We could claim that as fair use, but as
could.
Tony would say, it requires paperwork. to
That's the
prove
thing,
it.
yeah. They'll throw the strike, and then I have to go in and do a bunch of
And say
paperwork.
it.
To,
And in the meantime,
and
our
then-
listeners get no audio and the video gets a takedown until it's resolved,
not,
right?
Not usually. Usually a strike copyright strike just means they don't let you make any ad revenue on it.
Oh, so they
But
just
and they send you a different notice if they say your video's being taken down for copyright issues.
or having the audio stripped away,
Right.
or
So
whatever.
basically, what fair use is, it allows you to use any copyright material without getting sued by the copyright owners for a couple different uses. Right. Usually, the way the law is written is it's quote limited or transformative purposes. So
Yeah.
some examples of when this might be appropriate is if you're commenting upon the copyright material, such as we just
Right.
did. I think we're squarely within fair use there. If you're criticizing the material or if you're parodying the material, typically those are like the textbooks examples of when someone might use the fair use defense
That's
against someone
where-
suing them for copyright.
AI
And
has
that's what
no
all-
defense in this. It's
No.
not fair
and that's
use
what
at all.
and that's what radio morning shows always use is the parodying piece. That's the one. That's the
Right.
leg they always fall back on. Like, oh, we were doing a parody
so-
of Jeopardy.
With this lawsuit that these authors brought against Anthropic, the judge came back and said this is fair use because it's transformative. This is the first time, or one of the very first times, a substantial
Ugh, that's
or a
not good.
substantive decision has been applied on generative AI, claiming that
don't.
it's transformative. That's
Tell
the
me-
fair
tell
use
me-
case it falls under.
Yeah. Tell me you don't
Which
know
is-
how an LLM works without telling me you don't know how an LLM works. You know, like
Right.
That's
So,
what
but
it seems
the,
like, yeah.
The second part of this is Anthropic didn't acquire any of these copyrighted materials, these books, legally. They pirated most of them.
Right.
And so the judge is like, not okay. You can't just pirate crap. If you had bought
Which
this
is weird.
legally and used it, totally cool.
But
You
didn't
did it.
Facebook just get away with the same thing, and they did agree that it was fair use, and that, you know what? Don't blame us. Blame the
Yup.
people that torrented it. Blame the people that shared it, because we just found it,
Well, and that's
and
always
it happened
that's
to be
always been-
online.
The torrenting piracy stuff has always been against the people uploading. It's very
Right.
rarely done against the people that are downloading. The thing that a
But
lot
you
of people
can't
don't
say that you
understand,
didn't know.
the thing that a lot of people don't understand is most torrent programs will upload at the same time that it's downloading.
They will.
Well,
And
not
so
only
you
that,
might be
Tony.
unknowingly doing that.
I'm old enough to remember the back when Napster was a big deal. There was that one kid that downloaded a bunch of music and got sued by the cop by the
$250,000.
yeah, had to pay all kinds of money. Remember this? I
Yeah, yeah,
remember
for sure.
I'm old enough to remember that story.
For sure.
So it's the same thing, right? So that case about them pirating all the books goes to the trial in December. That's a separate thing.
Right.
But the judge basically said, as far as your use of it goes, A-okay, because it's transformative. Anthropic's
Transformative
argument here is
how?
we believe it's clear that they acquire books for one purpose only, building large training models, and there are training copies is what they're trying to say. Is we're okay here because they're training copies. Does that make sense? Which I think is a crappy argument, but
yeah,
that's what they're
I
going to go
don't-
with. So
I
we'll
don't
see how
like
that
it.
comes. How that comes. Just give some more context here real quick. Willful copyright infringement can lead to statutory damages up to $150,000 per infringed
Ooh,
work.
That's enough to crush this company.
Anthropic pirated more than 7 million copies of books.
Yeah.
Oofa.
Yeah.
What's
that's a
7
lot of-
million
times.
times 100,000, Jaron?
That's
A
a
lot.
lot. That's a lot.
That wasn't going to be my
know?
answer. I was hoping for something more
Like it
accurate.
used to be back in the day when you clicked on a link,
700
you're like, I didn't
billion.
know this was. Ooh. It used to be back in the day, and this is where that defense comes from, that it's the uploader's fault, is that everything was just downloadable with a link. It was just a hyperlink. You download it, and you're like, I didn't know the source of this was pirated. But nowadays, especially with the torrent protocol and the way that you have to do that, there's absolutely no defense that you did it unknowingly.
You know exactly what you're doing.
You absolutely knew. So
For that matter, you have to know what you're doing with those programs, or else they just don't work.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So
Anyway.
But wait, there's more.
Oh.
Are you bored, Jaron? Am I not entertaining you? What's happening?
We've done 100%
I think
Lando
he's having-
stories. We've
I
done
think he's
0%
having a-
Tony and Owen stories.
I think he's having
Just
a bowel
saying.
movement. Continue, Lando.
Yeah, I don't care.
my stories
So
aren't that
enter,
great today. Anyway.
enter Disney and Universal. Disney and Universal are now
I've heard of them.
suing Mid-Journey,
For
claiming
image creation.
that
I
you
saw
can't
those
use our
Disney
characters
pictures.
to train your data on, such as
Yeah, I
Shrek,
saw this.
Spider-Man, Mickey Mouse, etc.
Homer
Yeah.
Simpson, etc.
Yep,
The thing is,
Disney's
they're able
claiming
to prove it. They're able
and
to
I
prove
quote,
it now.
piracy is piracy, and the fact that it's done by an AI company does not make it any less infringing. So they're really
Yeah.
going after the AI companies hard
Preach.
for
Well,
for the infringing of their rights and pirating their
well,
content
they proved
aspect
it.
of it.
What they've been able to do now is prove it because they've been putting watermarks and stuff in the images, and those are coming through
showing
into
up.
this
Yeah.
into the transformed,
Right.
art, and it's like that's how you know right there.
That's a hand in
So-
the cookie jar right there.
Yeah,
the
that
reason
is a
why I bring
smoking
this-
gun.
The reason why I bring this up is because Disney and Universal are no small corporations.
Disney
They are
in
not
particular
used.
is
They are not used to losing lawsuits.
Yeah.
They go and win these kind of things. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, and if AI companies are forced to retrain on non-copyrighted material and how that might affect
which is
the different various
impossible,
models.
right? Like you have to have training data.
Yeah.
Well, they'll
that's-
just have to buy the training data. That's what it boils
Yeah,
down to.
exactly. And this is what Reddit is really ticked about. It missed out on from ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
Because they all missed that boat with getting. They didn't have it in their terms of service or anything that you couldn't. They wanted to be scraped by Google.
Well, assuming ChatGPT wants current data, they'll still have to pay Reddit.
Yeah.
Now they
absolutely.
will.
Now they
Now
And
they
Reddit
will.
When
has
they
a
were-
lot of bargaining power because of
Now
that.
it's valuable. Facebook's the
Yeah.
same way. Any
Yeah.
any forum with human interaction or real art, real
Well, and
human
what's funny
data.
What's funny too is you think about it, and Reddit's mad that its data was getting scraped, but whose data was it actually? It was the users. It's
It
all
was.
user-generated content.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure their EULA says they own
I
it.
know.
But but it
I
may
know.
exactly because the
They
moderators are
technically
even
own it because
the
it's
moderator
posted
on their platform. The
platform.
moderators are even volunteers.
Yeah, they don't
Oh,
even
you know,
pay their
here's,
mods.
here's what I want to see though. Come on, journey with me here. I want an
Oh, here we
LLM.
go.
I want an LLM that is trained purely from Truth Social.
That sounds
no.
terrible.
I want to
sounds
just
awful.
I want to put it in a silo. I don't want it to have any access to
okay.
anywhere, but I want to have I would love to distill that platform and
No,
see
that
what
sounds-
it sounds
no.
like.
That sounds
No?
awful.
That's like
I have two more points. One, the UK government, which sometimes mirrors the US, sometimes doesn't, and creates its own rules that we all have to follow, plans to give AI companies access to copyrighted work that rights holders hadn't explicitly opted out of, which of course drew a huge backlash from Paul McCartney.
Should be
et
opt
cetera,
in.
et
It
cetera.
should be opt in,
Sure.
not
But
opt out.
But the UK is saying, yeah, go ahead and train on pirated data. Essentially, is what they're saying. So I think that's interesting context that we're kind of going the other way there. The other thing I want to finish
Money.
off here is I have a quote from one of the lawyers involved in the Mid-Journey Disney suit. The quote here says, "Billion-dollar AI companies have staked their entire businesses on the idea that they are allowed to take people's life's work and build upon it to compete with them.
Yeah.
I
That's a
don't
great-
think they're easily going to
that's a-
give up on that because of one lawsuit," he says.
That's a
Nevertheless,
great
he says that
line.
the announcement of this lawsuit is, quote, really good for creators everywhere.
That's a great point.
great line.
Yep.
Distills,
Like,
People's
distills
lives
it down
That's
into
the
its
bare.
basic.
That's the basic truth. You're
Yeah.
The
taking
devil
somebody's
says,
life work
how's that different than an art student learning from the masters?
because it's one art student, not billions. I mean,
And not only that, but you probably asked the art master to, like, teach you, not just stole the work from him.
and he chose to, and he
Wow,
chose
no,
to teach
I think
you.
Jaren's referring to like
People that are dead.
people that are dead. Yeah.
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 Oh,
No, that's
interesting. We're gonna,
Anyway, there's-
of course, be following this as it goes, but don't expect any updates anytime soon because this is the kind of stuff that takes years and years to play out in court. So-
Which,
5 to 10 years later.
unfortunately, is going to take too long. It needs to happen sooner than later.
oh yeah,
and then usually dies quietly.
regulation is so far behind the advancement
Mm-hmm.
of technology in so many aspects, not just AI at this point, that it's crazy, and the wheels of bureaucracy turn so slowly in the government that it'll never catch up.
Okay, Jaron, I'm done now. That's all my stories. I've provided enough content for 3 weeks worth of Lando.
But
All right, Tony, I want to hear more about the Nothing Phone 3.
it's too bad it only counts for one, though, Lando. Sorry, man. You got to start over again next week.
That
how
just
it
teaches
works.
me to be lazy and do less work.
Now you're
Can
getting
do,
it.
boss man.
Lando, welcome to how everybody else does the podcast every week.
You need to somehow find less work than what you did this week, but more work than what you usually did. Somewhere in the middle.
Fair. That's fair.
This is how-
I can't complain. a
All
fair
right,
point.
Nothing Phone 3 was announced, and you know what? There wasn't really any mention of AI in it, which is pretty nice. This, I think, looks pretty neat.
Would you go for this on an Android? Just jumping right out of the bag. If you switch back to Android, would you go for a Nothing phone or a Pixel or
This
a Samsung?
camera array is confusing me.
I think I would very much consider a Nothing Phone. I would say it's probably in my top 3. The only thing that and this is a problem with most of the Android phones I'm actually interested in, is I believe they come straight out of China, designed and manufactured and everything in China.
Yeah.
And so,
OnePlus made me nervous in that same way.
exactly.
OnePlus
Because we
got
already
eaten
know
by
we're-
Nothing.
We already know for a fact that that some countries aren't opposed to putting spyware directly on their smartphones,
Yep.
a la North Korea.
Yep.
But
Ugh.
anyway, Nothing Phone 3. It is 6.67 inch AMOLED, 120 hertz, 1.5K resolution. I wish they had the actual numbers for that written out there, but high resolution, high enough that you're not going to notice any pixels for sure, just like iPhone and
Anything
Samsung.
from
On
the
a
past
device-
10 years.
yeah, anything
anything
from
this
the last
small.
5 years, 8 years. 4,500 nits of peak brightness though on that screen. That's
That is so
That's
many
insane.
nits.
pretty bright.
Wait,
3 camera.
4,500?
You can see that in the brightest sun. 4,500
Yeah.
nits. That's crazy.
Wow. That's my complaint about Pixel right now, is that I
too
can't
dim?
see it. It's dim outside.
4 cameras. This is the weird part. All 4 cameras come with 50 megapixel sensors.
Why do I need that, Tony?
Oh.
Pixel binning.
Take
It combines more
So-
pixels into 1 pixel so
Yeah,
that
but-
the pixels come out with less noise.
Yeah, but
fair.
that's still a larger sensor would achieve that without having to have that many megapixels as well. So
True.
it's-
It would also be more expensive, though.
so it just depends. But even the front-facing
has a 50
camera is a
megapixel
50
sensor.
megapixel. So you have 3 cameras on the back, 1 on the front, all 50
could-
megapixels.
No, it
And
largely depends on their photography software, like how good their computational photography is. So
Big
it could
factor.
have 100 megapixels, and if the
It's-
pixel binning's bad, then it
Could
won't
that
make a
still look
difference.
like crap.
Okay, I was
yeah.
going to ask, can you compensate by a bigger sensor by not having such as a robust software? Is that maybe?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's a
Yeah.
easier. That's the physical way to do it.
Yep.
OIS on the main one and the periscope cameras. So the periscope camera will have physical zoom.
How far is the zoom?
It didn't say, at least in this article from Engadget. So
Come on, Engadget. This is
I
like
know.
basic stuff here.
it'll do 60 FPS, 4K. Comes with the Snapdragon 8S Gen 4 SoC, which is the I want to say second best Snapdragon SoC you can get for mobile devices. The best one is the Snapdragon 8 Elite, which is what's in the Samsung Galaxy AS25 phones. Really, the only difference is clocks. It's clocked higher on that. I don't think there's any other difference. So it's 36% faster than the Phone 2 previous
It's only
generation.
a 3x zoom periscope. What the crap?
It's only 3. Oh, that's kind of weak sauce.
Yeah, it is weak.
I was expecting 5.
Or 10.
10 would be great. GPU performance versus the Phone 2 is up 88%. You get standard configurations of 12 gigs of RAM with 256 storage or 16 gigs with 512 of storage. Your battery is large, but not crazy large compared to some of them out there these days. It's 5,150 milliamp hours. Supports 65-watt charging wired and 15-watt wireless charging. But yeah, basically it's got pretty much everything you could expect from a high-end flagship phone. And the 12 gig model starts at $800. The 16 gig model is $900. So kind of in the same price range roughly as the Galaxy S25.
Has a cool dot matrix
Yes.
display on the back, and you could put like the time on there.
So
That's
pretty
pretty
cool.
cool.
the previous Nothing phones they called it Glyph, and it was this like series of LED strips in weird shapes on the back.
I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
and
cool
so
because they were like lighting, like ambient lighting.
depending on what you could set different notification types to different lighting
I see.
patterns, so you could know, oh, that's a phone call or that's a text or whatever, if the phone was face down. But this one eschews that and goes with a circle dot matrix little screen there. It looks pretty cool, actually. I kind of dig it. But yeah, there's your Nothing Phone 3 coming to the U.S. on Amazon and its own website. So
Oh, that
July
actually-
15th.
Actually
I
being
think that
sold in the
nits,
U.S.
I think Engadget's nits is incorrect.
It wouldn't surprise me. 4,500?
Yeah,
That's-
and
that's
Android
crazy.
Authority is saying 1,600 nits outdoors.
Okay, that sounds more accurate, which
Yeah.
is still very, quite good.
4,500 is a mobile tanning bed.
Seriously.
Man, strike 2 Engadget.
Great job. Well, maybe AI made this article.
Yeah.
Are you an AI? Igor Bonifasic?
I'll never tell.
Who
They should be
knows?
forced to put up a
Bonifacic.
profile picture now. Like, the
Oh,
you
that
know-
can't be generated by AI.
Sam
what?
Altman's
Doesn't matter.
Sam Altman's real identity thing, the WorldCoin, where they have
Mm-hmm.
to come and biometrically scan.
Scan your eye? Yeah.
It's becoming more and more of a. I mean, I don't necessarily.
Well,
like
he's
Sam
creating the
Altman do it.
demand. It's
Yeah,
the
exactly.
perfect business.
Exactly. He's creating the demand, but the demand is still there, regardless of whether he's an arms dealer that's playing both sides. I need to know if people are real people now.
You'll never know.
I can't, Tony. Don't. I already live in existential dread every day. Don't
Just-
say stuff like that.
Just take the blue pill and enjoy life.
Seriously, I will take the blue pill all day long.
Ignorance is bliss, according to Siler.
It's steak. You know how I know it's a steak? Because my brain tells me it's a steak. I don't care.
That's right.
Ignorance
All right,
is bliss.
Owen, you have a story here about CarFax.
How about
do
so
we care-
CarFax?
Do we care about CarFax?
Yeah, you guys know about CarFax, right?
Yeah.
Get the
I've
CarFax.
used the CarFax
It became,
a bunch.
like it became a big deal to track wrecks, and it helped. It was
Repairs and
consumer protection, right? Like
Yep.
having crash data. How many accidents has this been in? Is this the first owner? That kind of stuff. And that was actually very beneficial for cars, and it went pretty broadly. It became enough where every car manufacturer, or every car salesman, I should say,
Yeah.
has to at least give it the time of day. Well, HP wanting to move in and muscle in on the secondary market and resell their own devices, they've come up with a new thing called PCFax,
Hey,
Oh,
which-
please
which-
no.
which is
it's not
th-
very
their
original.
and fax is a computer term. Anyway, it's their idea, and this, they're standing on this, just like when Apple was like, we're not sending chargers anymore because we're helping the planet. They're standing on the same thing. 60 million tons of e-waste annually, blah blah blah, and they're trying to play the environmental card here, and how they're, and also they're trying to say that this laptop, the software HP's gonna put on here, carves out a protected partition on that can't be touched by the OS, is persistent across reinstalls, which makes me go, but what if you delete everything and wipe the
Format the
drive?
drive.
What if you go down and use zeros and ones, anyway, a drive wiper,
Or just
anyway,
put in a new solid state drive.
or just put in a new solid state, right? Like, anyway, so they want to save that data, and then they said, we need to help collect and make available usage and maintenance data for each laptop.
This sounds very privacy.
It sounds so bad,
friendly.
right? Yeah. And so so basically you can trust that if it's an HP laptop or PC, you can see that it was turned on and off, right? What damage are you looking at? I guess you can look at drive usage. Like, if they could track this
You
for
can
a
already
GPU,
find that information, though. That's
exactly.
in the smart info
it's
of the drive.
it's already there. Yeah, it's already in system info. If they could do this for GPUs, maybe to suss out people that mine with their GPUs versus not,
That'd be
maybe
something.
maybe.
Yeah.
But the firmware level data collector, luckily the sensors that can collect the necessary data are already installed in each PC. Like you said, Tony, they're already in there. They want to see, they want to capture stuff like, has this computer ever overheated? What's the power consumption? What's the life of the battery? And I'm like, this is all just stuff
Sorry.
that you would look at
It's already there.
anyway.
It's already there.
And this is kind of the same thing in the way of a CarFax. If you are a mechanic or if you know cars, you could go up and be your own CarFax, right? You could do that and be like, this isn't right and this isn't right. And that's what I think as computer and technology aficionados or enthusiasts that we are, we're doing that kind of with a bias here. But maybe people that don't have that ability to say, well, how do I go run system info? They want an easily packaged, here's all the info. Anyway, I don't know. They decided the best way to do this is to integrate the lifestyle records into the firmware layer by embedding telemetry capabilities directly within the firmware. We ensure that device health and usage data is captured the moment it's collected. The data is stored securely on HPS, so you have to use HP branded drives. So,
Yeah, this is only going to work within their ecosystem, and
What
also
is so
who
niche.
cares? Like
Yeah.
this is pointless. The thing about it is, if they want to use it for reselling, like business laptops and stuff like that,
Maybe there's an enterprise use case. Maybe.
well, even then, companies don't sell laptops to people that they're used usually. What the companies do is they sell them to a recycler, and the recycler refurbishes them.
Just
and
refurbishes
then they
them
get
and
sent out
then-
anyway. And
and-
so
yeah.
nobody cares that's buying a refurbished laptop. Oh,
Maybe-
this drive has been used for 250 hours
Yep.
or whatever.
And
Like,
maybe you
cares?
could do that. Maybe you could do that for two use cases. One, if you're on a really tight budget as a company, and they can now categorize these laptops into actual good, good, better, best, right? And then they could say, hey, these all have this score because of their telemetry data. And then the person or the company buying it could say, we have to go with this cheaper. We know what
maybe.
risk we're taking. Maybe. The other thing that they could do is they could take the same data that they're collecting, and if you had a company that was really into proving its carbon footprint, they could say, we only use pre-used laptops and we know where all these have been, and this is how much carbon we're offsetting.
yeah, but you don't need the telemetry of an individual laptop to say that. You just say, we bought all these from a recycler.
Right, but without knowing that, this makes it a lot easier for the PR to digest that. Be like, we're buying these
What?
HP.
How?
We're because it's so like
They're already used if you're buying them from a recycler. That's all you need to say. We
Yeah,
bought
but you
these
can't-
used. Look how
you
much
can't-
we've offset.
I don't think you can consistently get the same quality control from a recycler as you can from the company.
Well, that's
and
up to whoever's
maybe,
buying 'em.
Right, and maybe HP's just trying to muscle in on that area, trying to offer. Anyway,
I don't know,
I think it's a crock. If you know anything about hard drives and how partitioning and formats work, you understand
easily
how
get around this.
how many flaws there are.
Yeah.
Just in the hardware of this. How many times does a drive fail and you put in a new one? Do you guys go buy an HP drive? They're not even the top performers. If I get something with an HP drive in it, I'm already thinking about replacing it just because.
On general principles.
Unless it's one of their top end drives, their the black ones, the Western Digital, or those are Western Digital. That's not
Western
even
Digital.
HP.
No,
that's
not
right.
HP.
Yeah. So anyway, I think it's a bad idea. I think it's
it's just not going to go anywhere.
I think it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And HP, they can't really do anything.
I mean, this is coming from the company that's that's locking up printers because you're not using their
Yeah.
toners. Like, you've got our best interest in the world's interests at heart here. We know that's what you're
Totally.
doing. So
Yep. All right, Jaron, do you want to do a review or computer science bubble bursting as
Review,
our
because
last
I have all the
story?
stuff with me right now
Okay.
that I don't want to
Yay.
bring again. All right, my review for Q3. It is a MagSafe leather wallet. It's the
sticks on the back of your phone.
Yep. It's the Nomad Leather Mag Wallet. It just got announced last week. But
Hold it up,
I
hold it
I
up.
saw it and I fell instantly in love, and I'll tell you why. First of all, though, I have tested many MagSafe wallets in my time. The official leather wallet, Apple leather wallet, which they don't sell anymore. I'll tell you why this sucks. After a couple years, they have like this trim. You think it's leather, but it's not. It like just melts away eventually, and it turns into this brown goop.
That's a
And get-
patina.
It gets really gross. And mine goopified late last year. And the other problem with Apple's leather wallet is you could only store 2 cards in there comfortably. If you put 3 in there, it got really hard to get the cards out. And you couldn't even do anything beyond 3. So I got really sick of that and then went for an O-Snap metal MagSafe wallet.
Oh,
This stores up to 8 cards, and it has like a handy little kickstand on the back. And it's a decent wallet, but it's metal.
What do you do with the kickstand? Oh,
Yeah,
for
why
your
do I
phone.
want a kickstand on my wallet?
When it's on your phone.
Yeah, when it's on your phone. So
Oh, it's a phone
a-
kickstand.
Yeah,
Yep.
phone kickstand.
I get it. I get that.
yep, just
or
like
a
that.
or a holder for you to hold on to the
Yeah.
phone with.
Yep.
Or
I
fence
have
it with.
I have a O-Snap on every time I
We
get
met
a phone.
those
I put
guys.
an O-Snap on it. Yeah, we met
Yeah,
them
and it has a
Yes.
little
Yes.
O-Snap thingy on the back, so you can like twirl your phone around and hold it with your hand.
Yay.
It's okay. Like for what it is, it's $100.
It worked.
$80 to $100, depending on what model you get. It's chunky. That was my main beef with it.
Chunky beef.
Enter the Nomad, what's it called? Leather Mag Wallet. So this is $80, but it's made by Nomad. Their leather is of much higher quality than Apple's leather. And the shtick with this thing is it has a Find My device built into it.
Like that.
So Apple's leather wallet, it kind of has Find My functionality. The phone knows when you detach the Apple wallet. So it tracks your location for the last time you detached it. So if your wallet moves after you detach it, then you'll
find my on there.
yeah, you're kind of screwed. However, this Nomad wallet, it has a Find My device built into it, and so you can always find it no matter if it's recently
that's
detached or
cool.
not. In addition to that, it has sound effects on it. So if you lose it, you can play a sound, which I'm doing right now. There it is. You hear that?
I can.
That's
I like
cool.
it.
That's
Yeah.
like what That's what Tile did initially with their flat cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And since it's built into the wallet, it doesn't take up pretty much any space. It is barely thicker than Apple's leather wallet, which is quite a draw for me because I really like the thinness of Apple's leather wallet. Another plus is it holds 4 cards instead of 3, and even though it holds more cards than Apple's wallet, you can actually get them out comfortably because there's a nice little push-up thing at the bottom to bring the cards
yeah.
out. It's actually easy to get the cards out, unlike the O-Snap and the Apple leather wallet. So it's fantastic. I rated a 10 out of 10. The only thing I would bring it down to me is the longevity. It's early days to see that,
Yeah,
but
you don't know yet.
Nomad
Is it gonna goopify?
it's a good company and they have a good track record.
What was
so
the price on this?
$80.
$80. Okay, so you pay for it, but 10 out of 10 from a Jaren score.
Yeah, I love it. And another cool thing is in Apple's wallet, if you put 3 cards in it, it kind of stretches out. So if you go to 1 card or 2 cards, the cards can fall out easily.
Oh no.
How does it compare on price to the Apple and the O-Snap?
I will tell
Apple's
you
not
after I
sold
make my last
anymore.
point, Owen.
Oh, okay.
Don't jump the gun.
We
Yeah.
already talked about price for $80. I
So
thought it
if
would
you
be
take
that
out
part.
all of the cards on the O-Snap except for 1, it's got a spring mechanism in there, so like the card just doesn't fall out.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So it is truly 1 to 4 cards comfortably, unlike some of the other MagSafe options out there.
Any
So
questions?
Now
No?
circling back
Okay.
to the price.
well, Apple doesn't make their leather wallet anymore because now they have a stance against leather for some reason.
Do
Is
they
it
have?
real
Do they
anyway?
make
Save
one
the
that's
cows,
what, silicone
Jaron.
or something?
It's fine woven.
Oh, fine woven. Right.
Yes.
Right. Nice
Yes.
pants.
And that
They're
is
woven.
that's $60. So $20 extra, you get a much more fleshed out quality wallet that will last much longer than
With
their
Find My.
Fleshed out.
With
Fine
Fleshed
woven
out.
and fine.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
I
with
heard-
built-in Find My.
I heard it there, fleshed out.
That's a leather joke.
The leather joke right there.
So it has truly exceeded my expectations. And to charge it, you just put it on your MagSafe charger. So that's kind of cool. You have to
How
charge
long-
it maybe once every 4 months.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Okay. Quarterly charging. No, that's not quarterly. Trimesterly charging.
3 to 4 months. Quarterly would probably be good.
All right. All right. Well, cool. There you go. Nomad. That's it. Let's just give a big shout
let-
out to our.
We've
One
done it.
more. I want you to talk about the Zigbee thing because that's timely. Did they come back?
Oh,
at
that will
Sengled?
save. It's
Well,
fine. Tease it for
It's
next
kind of
week.
timely because Sengled, Sengled
They're
had
gone,
their
right?
outage.
Are
No,
they
that's
back?
back up. It's back
Oh,
up.
okay.
So Sengled, which I feel bad because I've crowed about how much I like Sengled in the past for their hub-based smart devices, lights, plugs, etc. Well, their servers went down for like 3 daes, 4 days.
Yeah.
And so none of my Sengled light bulbs or plugs worked at all. Because every time you use, I don't know if you know this, but most of these services, every time you use a smart bulb or a smart plug or whatever, it calls home real quick. And if the servers aren't up, then you're not getting served. And so Owen hit me up about it. He's like, hey, is your Sengled stuff working? I was
Yeah.
like, no.
I was
freaking
I
thing
thought I was going
sucks."
crazy. I thought I was going crazy.
Yeah, and because when it stops working, you just think, oh, something's wrong with Alexa.
Yeah.
So I ended up blaming. So here's the thing. Sengled stuff went down, took 4 days to come up, and in that time, Owen said, well, aren't these Zigbee? Can't I just attach these to a Zigbee hub, which is in all of the modern Alexa devices? And it turns out, yes. So
And it's
Owen-
faster, by the way.
That's what I was going to say.
Way faster
It
because
is
Alexa's
so
not making an
much.
API call back to
Exactly.
their crappy servers in the underground of some Mexican desert. No, nothing against Mexican desert. I just assume there's bad service there.
Probably. So
You
yeah,
could say
now
the Mojave Desert.
we
Oh.
bypass
There you go. I didn't
all
know.
of Sengled's quote infrastructure. I think you can use that term loosely.
Very.
And it just hits the since it's Zigbee, it just hits Alexa's servers and comes back real quick. So boom, no worries about Sengled going down anymore, and it works so much faster and consistently.
Yeah.
I've been blaming Alexa for the last like 2
Same.
years for my Sengled bulbs responding poorly when I'd say like turn on the kitchen lights or whatever, or
Yep.
turn them off, and it turns out she was not at fault on that.
Yeah. She's my kids. I have my kids.
You
by the
owe
way,
you owe Alexa an apology, by the
Oh,
way, Owen.
so many. And my kids started walking around being like, Alexa, you idiot. Like it got to the point where my wife's like, can you not? In front of the kids. They're calling an inanimate object an idiot and telling her to shut up.
Oh,
and I'm like,
man.
oh. And I would have it where one light would stay on in my
Oh
group.
yeah, oh
where
yeah.
like and
for
I'm like
sure.
and I'm like, did you just
Decided not to do that one.
not today? Not today. Okay. So if you
Thanks,
so
Alexa.
the trick is reset all your lights and then add them through the Alexa app.
Yep. You just add them through the Alexa.
It's a pain in the
Alexa
butt.
app.
It's a pain in the butt because it's not you have to do them one at a time or whatever, but it's way better.
Was their outage really 4 days?
Yeah.
I think it might have been
Wow.
longer. By the time we got it, it was
actually might
4
have been
days.
longer. Yep.
And they had no they said nothing.
communication.
No email to their customers, no on nothing. Zero.
Holy cow.
I actually got an email from Amazon
Amazon
on
who's
the
told
third
me
day that
is who
said,
told me.
"Hey, your Sengled stuff probably isn't working right
Yeah.
now."
Because like us, we were blaming Alexa
Yeah.
for their poor service, and it turns out that Sengled has been embroiled in legal battles for a while. Anyway,
Yep.
about something, and
So I'm gonna throw that hub away, never to be used
Yeah.
again.
I-
But the moral of the story is modern Alexa devices have Zigbee
built in.
hubs built into them.
Yep.
Just buy Zigbee lights and stuff and use
Yep.
Alexa. It's so much better.
Don't even
than-
worry about the brand anymore. I mean, it's like it's oh,
So
it's
I
much
added,
better.
and that was another thing. I was so mad that I decided to buy all new lights.
Oh yeah.
Before I realized that you could use the Sengled ones with Zigbee. So I have a whole bunch of extra lights now. But I bought from this other company, Third Reality, which has some pretty good reviews on.
Are they Zigbee as
Amazon.
well?
Yeah, they're just Zigbee.
And so you just do the same thing.
So I
How
just did
bright
the
are
same
they?
thing, and they're great. They're
I'll
I
buy
have,
one from you.
What the? Why did Ubisoft just pop up?
Mine did too.
Did yours just do that?
It was like 20 minutes ago.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
why did Ubisoft just pop up?
I used all the can lights. I replaced all the can lights in my living room, but I might have I should have some extra light bulb, regular shaped light bulb lights if you're interested. So we'll
So
figure
if
it
you
out
had
after.
so if you had Zigbee, just know you're not crazy.
Sengled.
Sengled, I mean, you're not
Just
crazy.
just use Alexa as
Yep.
a Zigbee hub. It's great. It works like a champ. All right, now it's time for a shout out to our awesome Patreon backers, patreon.com/helpdeskarcade, and Lando is going to tell you what you can get if you decide you want to participate in that digital tip jar.
I know you guys miss me and shouting out the things you can get from the
Say it,
digital
Owen.
tip jar.
Digital
Right?
jar.
There you
Digital
go.
jar.
You miss me. So here's all the things you get for
Vocal
$1.
stem.
And really, the $1 is where it's at. Like, don't get me wrong, the $6 subs, we love you. We freaking love you the most, for sure. But the
You
$1
can
is where
donate
it's
as
at.
much or as little as you want, starting from $1.
Absolutely. But the $1 is where it's at. That's the best value. Bang for your buck, the $1. Super secret Discord channel.
Why are you doing that?
Full shows early, ad-free, with
Yeah, hard we work
the
for
in-between.
$6. You know,
Owen-
do you know how many stories? How many
Owen
poop
got it.
stories I've told for $6
Oh, that's
story?
true.
$6
the $6
subs.
subs does include
So why
some
don't you
good
stop?
stories.
So why don't you stop? Why don't you stop that? That whole $1 is what you should do. That's where it's at. Bullcrap. Donate what you can,
Owen-
dear listener.
Owen feels like you're
But come in-
undervaluing his contributions.
But come in at $1 or do more if you can. We
You
love
know?
you. We love you.
Slap,
But-
slap.
Yeah. There you go.
So for $1, you get all those things. All those things. Super secret Discord, early shows, ad-free, in between, like good stuff there. For $6 or more, you get your name shouted out on the air, plus all the other stuff as well. But as I say all the time, the $6 shout out in the air, it's cool to hear your name shouted out on the air, right? Like it's cool. It's a cool thing. Like I'm one of the bros.
You're
right?
out there.
I got this. But what's even better is when you use that advantage, that perk, to make Jaron say whatever you want. That's the real bonus.
Sometimes me.
And we have some listeners who are pushing that boundary all the way. And I just want you to say, you are seen, you are heard, and you are the best. Keep it up. Let's see how far we can take it.
They saw that last week.
And Jaron just refused. So game over.
I missed that because I wasn't here. What was the?
We
what
found
was
the boundaries.
What was the name? What
Turns
was the
out they
boundary?
were.
It's the
Turns
C
out it was
word.
very. Turns out it wasn't very deep. Turns out Jaron won't do anything.
Well, they went straight to the C word, okay?
Well, we knew he. I think we tried the S word before, like shit, and he's like, we didn't do that. So. Anyway, Jaron, that was your segment.
All right.
Are you
Big
gonna
shout
take
out.
Are you going to take
and-
the C word out for a spin this weekend?
Take it out. Let it
yeah.
flow around, jingle around your teeth a little.
No, that was a reference to
Arrested
Arrested Development.
Big shout out and thank you to David Broshinsky, Interrupting Cow, Aaron Faulkner, Connor Keesaw, and not Timon. Seriously.
Not Timon. Okay.
Yep, not
All right,
Timon.
Timon. Just like it's
Fourth
not
dimension.
Lambo.
Fourth Dimension Craft on Instagram for all your laser engraving needs. Ivan Reptiled its function.
You
Jason
do.
Eatman, please cancel my subscription to ESPN. Burninated Peasant, be the 8-year-old. I'm just here for Owen's stories. I'm here for content, not a nice, tight pod. Lando. 10 tiny techies tweak tangled transistor towers tirelessly. Tony Trips tossing a 10 terabytes of tacos at the terminal. Thank you.
Oh, I had
I
tacos
love
today
that
for
one.
lunch. They were
Yeah,
delicious.
they were good. Kyle, if you ever want to mess with your coworkers, just rearrange their keycaps. Ah, they must not be touch typers like Lambo here. Geriga arimasu. Tony the Excel and Power Apps nerd. Pyman Graphics, purveyor of fine geeky stickers. Curse Gengar 94. Keslo. Eric Steinman. Eric Cruz. The in-between rating 222. Bring back Twyman because one dose just isn't enough.
Well,
We gave you a double
stay
dose.
tuned. Stay tuned.
Wow, he must have left an impact here.
Yeah,
There's a lot of battery
splatter.
time
More like a
declining.
splatter pattern.
Yeah. Right there next
like
to
a-
the throne.
Yeah.
Ugh.
DP making slap documentaries for Twyman. Wesley, Tenet is Nolan's most Nolaniest Nolan movie that ever Nolaned.
Oh, in such a bad way.
Stuart Lloyd, Oliver Closeoff, and finally, yes, Owen, we do care. Old Lou coming to you live from Skunktown.
Skunk?
All right.
Yes,
Yeah.
skunk. It
Skunk.
says skunk.
Not today, huh, Jaron?
All right. Thank you so much, Patreon backers. You are awesome, and we appreciate you. Thanks for making it to the end of this episode, if indeed you did, and downloading us. We'll see you in the in-between or arcade or just the next Helpdesk episode if you don't participate in that other goodness. Until then, Lando, take us out.
What even is real anymore? AI's ruining the world. What's art? What's human created? Does it even matter? How do we freaking do it? Be an end user.